This is the plaintiff, John Passeretti. He says his next-door neighbor, the defendant, is a bully who cut down 20 of his evergreen trees and left him with just stumps. He also damaged his fence. He's tired of putting up with this guy's crazy antics and is suing him right here and now for the $2,800 he's owed. This is the defendant, Moshe Shabbat. He says, as far as the evergreens go, the plaintiff gave him permission to trim them. The plaintiff's a grumpy person. Everything annoys him, and he calls the cops and bothers them with his nonsense. Bottom line, he got the okay to trim the trees and owes this man nothing. He's accused of hacking it up.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, John Passeretti,
Yes.
you are suing your neighbor Moshe Shabbat for $2,800 that you say he owes you for a fence and some trees he cut down. Tell me your tale of woe. When did this begin?
Back in May. The
How long have you two lived next to each other?
About a year and a half. I lived there for almost 4 years. He had moved in after me.
And were you two ever friendly?
Kind of, a little bit, you know.
Okay.
I
what? What were you going to say?
When he first introduced himself to me, and he asked me what my job was, and I said I was a retired fireman, kind of just rolled his eyes and looked away from me. So
Why would anybody do that?
Yeah, got me.
Okay, so tell me about the tree and the fence issue. What happened?
My property is 10 feet. From my house to my property line is 10 feet.
So your fence is not on your property line?
It's a little inside my property line.
Oh, inside your property. Yeah, but that's what, I'm sorry, that's what I meant. Is it on your property or his property?
No, my property.
No, it's on your property a little bit in, and then his fence is on the property line?
His fence was on, obviously, his property line because they weren't lined up.
Oh, because that's what I'm asking. So the way the fences were, there was a gap?
Yes.
And what happened from here to here in the gap?
There was just...
Openness? You
Yeah.
guys don't have pets, I guess. So it's open in the
Well,
front, it's open here. It's all good. Okay.
I do have a dog, but he never bothered going near it or anything. He never went through it, so I didn't worry about it, just left it.
So what goes wrong?
His section of the fence fell down.
From what?
Just time.
Okay.
Just rotted and fell down.
Okay.
So I said to him, when you're ready to put up a new fence, talk to me and let me know, and we'll split the cost of the fence that fell down.
That was your idea?
Yes.
Okay.
And I told him, let me know when you're ready to do this so I could take my dog in from the backyard.
Okay.
So obviously, when the fence fell down, he decided to clean it up. He went back there without letting me know, piled his tools on my barbecue. He raised a hammer to my dog because my dog caught him in the backyard, went after him, didn't go after him, started to bark. So I went out and I got control of my dog and brought him in and left him about his business to clean up the fence.
Okay.
A couple of days later, he nails up some plywood.
Uh-huh.
And he comes to me a few days later and tells me that it cost $300 to put up that plywood. I says, $300 for what?
Okay, was the plywood supposed to be the ultimate fence or a temporary
Yes.
measure?
He says, no, he says, that's our fence now. It cost me $300. He says,
Okay.
well, I cleaned up your backyard too. He says, you cleaned up my backyard. He says, all you did was pick up the mess that was stuck under the fence from you not cleaning anything up. Plus, I had 2 pieces of concrete that I was a survivor of 9/11 that I had taken with me and left in my backyard. And he threw the concrete away. I mean, there's no value on it, but I says, I want it back. He says, what am I going to do now?
Tell me about this fence. Like it's sheets of plywood. I've kind of never seen a fence like that. How can this be up to code?
It's a plywood.
I mean,
it's just like temporary.
Temporary until what? What were you planning?
Until we do a new one.
Right, but when were you planning to do a real one?
Anytime he want. And then I come to him, I say, listen, it cost me $300 with the guy and everything. You want to share with me? He said, no, I'm not going to share with you. I said, okay. And then he gave me his back and he started walking, he started throwing words. I said, I
Like
never
what?
answered him.
What was he saying?
He said whatever he said, And I left. I went to my house, and I never talked to him again. And all of a sudden, I see, he called the building department, they come.
What did the building department say, that it was okay?
They say it's fine.
So you didn't get cited?
Two of them, no.
Okay, do you know otherwise? Did he ever get cited?
They said it's just plywood. What's the difference?
So now, is the back section on your property? Do you agree that that's on your property?
No, I bought the house the way it,
No, I know you bought the house the way the house came. I'm just asking you, have you ever seen a survey? Do you have a survey?
No.
Yes.
And what is your survey? Show me the survey. And what does the survey show?
It shows.
Okay, I can't have you just shouting out, ma'am. You can stand up and whisper in his ear, but you can't just shout from your chair. And I'm happy to ask you questions if you want me to.
That's his survey.
Okay, what is this a picture of?
That's the section of my fence that he wants me to take down because in 20 years, you know what that's going to look like?
No?
That's what he said to me.
Okay, but he wants you to take it down so it looks like this? I don't get it. What?
I don't get it
You mean
either.
he wants to redo the whole thing
The
nicely?
whole thing. He wants me to take that fence down. He wants me to take the evergreens down, put up a white.
Okay, but I don't care what anybody wants. I care what the law requires each of you to respect in the other person. He puts up his fence. You don't like it. You talk to the building department. They say it's perfectly fine. What's our next problem?
He cut my evergreens down.
Let's talk about that. Where are the evergreens?
So
Okay.
he came a foot onto my property and cut the trees, cut the branches up to the trunks. They're just trunks standing out of the middle of the thing.
So according to you, he cut 1 foot into your property.
If you look at the pictures, you see those stones
Yeah.
laying on the floor. That's the property line.
Now, what does the survey say?
It says 40 feet. You see the evergreens?
Hold
along?
on, don't talk, hold on. Okay, those aren't actually rocks. These are the row of evergreens. And the evergreens are about a foot into your property. Okay, first of all, you have the right to trim anything that starts, if this is your property line, anything that is hanging over this way. I don't care how bad it makes your trees look, but that's the law, all right? So you have the right to do that. But these evergreens are not on the property line. These evergreens are a foot in, which they are according to the survey. And I am seeing bark, like right there, that it was cut in there. It looks like you went on his property line to cut some of this down.
He is really harassing us nonstop.
How is he harassing you?
First of all, he bought us already twice, the building department.
Okay.
Three times.
3 times?
Second of all, when we trim and everything the next day, I was sitting in front of my house, just took a shower. He come to the front of my house and he starts screaming at me.
What does he
Look
say?
what you did to my fence. Look what you did to this. Now you put cover on your window. Where it's gonna go? You crazy? You stupid.
Is
in
this true or
school."
not true? Why are you laughing?
Harassing them. They stand on the other side of my fence with their cell phones recording my conversations. They stand in my
No, that's
backyard
not true.
recording my
But you do have
conversations.
you have a
No.
recording that you want to show me,
No,
right?
a recording
Yes, I
of
do.
something else.
What is the
Just a minute,
recording?
סליחה רגע.
Is
The
it
recording.
queued up?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
We
Go
wanted
ahead.
to take a picture of the evergreen from his side and then our side. So when we went to do it, he saw us, he started going crazy, and then he started screaming and yelling and taking his pants off and said, now you can take picture of me.
Okay.
I mean,
Is that what you're going to show me? Is
Yes, that's what he did.
Okay. All righty.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, can you actually cut inside the property line on the neighbor's property a little bit if it's an overhanging tree, just so you have a little wiggle room and so it doesn't immediately grow back?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that
How many feet can you go in?
at least 2 or 3.
You think so, huh?
I'd say just as long as it doesn't cross the property line.
Okay, going back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Can you cut it?
I would cut the whole tree down.
You would cut the whole tree down. Okay, thank you, litigants. We're going inside the courtrum.
Hold
And he
on.
start dancing.
Hold on.
And jumping.
Hold on.
Yes, they were recording me, so I gave them something to record.
Take the pictures. Take the pictures. Go right ahead.
You see what I'm dealing
You know
with.
that's against the law doing that. You know that.
What is it like to live like you people live?
I tell you,
With this constant, just animosity, or you're all going to die of a heart attack. How
I
can
I tell you the truth. We moved
Listen,
there.
bottom line, everybody stop. It's their fence. They can do what they want. Apparently, you have been proven wrong on the fence. So forget about suing for anything
No.
about the fence. Let's talk about the evergreens. Where do you get your estimate of $1,500 to replace the evergreens?
According to the landscaper, because they've been trimmed down to the trunks like that, he says they may not grow back. And if
Okay,
some of the
first of all,
pictures-
that's complete malarkey. They are not trimmed. When a branch is trimmed to the trunk, that does not mean that the branch isn't going to grow again. And that also doesn't mean that other branches aren't going to grow again. That's just, I don't know where that comes from. But by the way, it's also not here, so it's pure hearsay. Well, here's the thing. You and I both know that you are not going to rip out those evergreens and plant other evergreens that they have a right to cut right at the property line.
Right at the property line. They came a foot onto my property.
I agree. And that is worth damages. And so, in my infinite wisdom, I am going to grab a figure out of the sky that I think is appropriate to show the damages of seeing your trees completely peeled to the back on your property, which you didn't have a right to do. This is ludicrous. You have a big smile on your face, but you didn't win either. When someone has made you crazy enough that you take your pants down and move them on video, your life is not a bed of roses. I don't understand how people would want to live in this kind of situation. No, we're done. No, I'm not your psychiatrist. Cut it out. I'm going to rule, and you're going to leave my presence. But then, you know what you have to do? You can't leave each other's presence because you have chosen to inhabit the part of the earth that is right next to the other part of the earth. So either one of you needs to move, or you both need to try to figure out a way to try to live in harmony from here on in. Your branches are going to be cut. They're just not going to be cut there. They're going to be cut at the property line. You are going to have the survey. I'm going to give you a copy of the survey so you know where the property line is so we don't have the problem again, okay? But you are all, every last one of you, acting like children. And frankly, I expect more out of a former fire person.
May I ask you a question?
No, you may not. I am ruling in your favor in the damages in the amount of $500. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
So the judge thinks both parties are acting like children here in the People's Court. The plaintiff does win $500. Mr. Shabbat, how do you feel about what just happened in there?
Yeah, I feel everything like...
Here's the bottom line. Can you live together peacefully?
Oh, of course. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. I used to say hello to him every morning. I used to say, talk to him and this. I don't know why he changed. He changed completely.
All right.
Really.
Well, listen, you did a bad job on the trees. You got to cost you $500, okay?
You know.
Thank you very much. You must leave. Good luck living together. Mr. Passerati. Judge thinks you're acting like a child, too. I mean, you pull your pants down, and why do you do that?
That was crazy.
It was crazy.
But the thing is, him coming onto my property, him recording me, his cameras are facing my house, him constantly coming onto my property. Everything he said was a complete lie. Everything was
Here's
a
the
complete
question.
lie.
What are you going to do now? After you've been to court with each other?
I don't know. I'm going to hope that, and I know I didn't win because I can't put a fence up with $500. It's $1,700 to put a fence up.
Can you
I was
live
gonna
together
put a fence up.
peacefully? That's the big question.
Me, as long as he stops coming on my property, as long as he stops recording my conversations, turns his camera from facing my house, I'll try to get along with him. But he's not a nice man. Everything he said was a lie. Nobody on the block likes him.
I got it.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
welcome.
Calm down. Peace. Harvey?
Okay, here's my strong advice. If you're going to cut or mess with your neighbor's property or tree or whatever it is, give them notice before you do it, especially if you have to go onto their property. Give them notice that you're doing it. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.